What's going on, guys? This is Brainsmasher, and this is a collection update. What do you say? Thank you for choosing to spend some time together in fellowship with unholy, blasphemous, unruly noise. And speaking of that, I got a doozy. Got a whole stack of doozies here. Let's make sure we got our volumes in check here. I was just blasting some, I don't want to give it away, stuff. Blasting some stuff. In the background, this unassuming little bastard, so good. Alright, I want you to judge the music before you judge the cover. Hope you can hear that. Yeah. Babylon's sad. One of the worst band names I've ever heard. This thing has its charm. So yeah, this originally came across my radar because this album cover is unforgettably bad. But I keep coming back to this thing. It's really, really good. See what I mean? Okay, so I've gotten in a million things. So I just kind of grabbed a stack of whatever, trying to make sure that I haven't double dipped and shown some stuff that I've already talked about in a collection update, but you're not keeping track, let's be honest, come on. So, when I get so behind, so at the old house I used to be able to keep up with, I would get in a dozen albums in 2 weeks or so. I would shoot a collection update where I showed those dozen albums. And this has gotten so out of hand in the last few years where this room mostly is the stuff that I've gotten in, except for my vinyl, in the last few years since I've moved here. And so the old collection is all down in the basement. Anyways, it's really hard to remember if I've double dipped and shown something that I've already shown in a video or not, so whatever. This is kind of old, but I thought I double checked and made sure that I didn't already show this in a video. It is quite noteworthy. How often do you see somebody talk about a VA comp? When's the last time you bought a compilation from a label? I don't. I really don't. They're freebies if they come in my collection, but this one is quite noteworthy. It's a Peaceville compilation called Dark Side of the Sacred Star, and the entire book, the thing got broken. The entire book was written by a good friend of mine, John Rosenthal, who does Invisible Oranges. So this is a 2 CD set, and the second disc is previously released material from well-known bands. It's all black metal. So the second disc, I'll just burn through this because it's really not too noteworthy. Mortem, Mayhem, Rotting Christ, Thorns, Dark Throne, Sigh, Thou Art Lord, Fimbulwinter, Carpathian Forest, Totemsguard, Orinor. All the good Peaceville stuff. I don't need to go on. So it's just kind of like a best of primer, just in case you may have missed any of that stuff. But what's super... Oh, and also there's little paragraphs written about each one of the bands by John Rosenthal. So he's a great writer. He's really knows his stuff. And so it's worth reading. It's good. But what's really hitting here is there's some new stuff on here. There's some unreleased stuff on here from new bands and forthcoming stuff from new-ish bands. So first off, we've got a track from Mortem who are newly alive again. I didn't really think a whole lot of that track. And to be honest, everybody's been freaking out about this Ruim thing. I don't remember that being all that noteworthy, but whatever. It's probably worth coming back to. There's a track. There's like a instrumental track from the last Dark Throne thing, which, you know, so good. Really super wasn't feeling that sigh. I think that band is done to me. But so this is maybe the highlight of the whole thing. Dudes Magherd. So Dudes Magherd, I don't really know if they're... I'm assuming there's going to be a full length. I'm just really hoping there's going to be a full length. So Dudes Magherd, if you can't already kind of figure out, it's like I don't. It's like Dodheimsgard, super weird. It's really, really fast. It's cerebral. It's got lots of. It's kind of like all the stuff that you already probably love about Dodheimsgard, like newish era, turned up to 68, and it's really fast. It's really cerebral. Like I said, it's once it really gets going and you start to kind of like your ears get acquainted with like the sound picture that you're being presented. It is wild. It's really a new thing. And at this day and age, when there's 6 million kids making a million different kinds of black metal, actually more like 1,000. It was surprising to hear a veteran make something that is so different and so absolutely out there. So, highlight of the comp for me. That was cool. But then going forward, cool it there on the Korg, young man. Is that Kvist, Norway's Kvist, are active once more, and this is a rehearsal track from a forthcoming full length. So there you go. If you hadn't already heard, I hope the news, broke the internet, because that's kind of amazing. I personally would have said, don't do this. Stay broken up. But we shall see. I wasn't blown away. I'm kind of leaving it at an inconclusive. I don't know. It was pretty good. So, I don't know. There's more on here. There's Mortuary Drape, Bitter Carved Hollow. This was my introduction to Hell Ripper. That stuff was killer. I don't know. I thought the name was pretty generic, so I just kind of ignored it. But wow, that was pretty nuts. And then we've got some exclusive thing from Snorre Rook. And I don't know. It's not like, ooh, new thorns. I don't know. So, I don't know. There's some kind of like bait and switch on this thing. But it's pretty cool. I'm glad I picked it up. It's glad to see my pal John getting a writing gig like that. Next, this is going to be a highlight of the year for me. Again, I'm going to remind you, not doing a year-end list. Sick of doing it. I hate it. But this is one of the better black metal releases that I've heard in 2023 with the project band. It's called Mycorrhizae. Not that you can read that logo whatsoever. With a great filtration. Now, you might notice the cute little mushrooms on there. Wow, so cute. This is out on Big Bovine Industries 2023 out of Minneapolis. So Mycorrhizae is this part of the album is cringy. So anyways, ever since False broke up, the drummer has become a good friend of mine and started a label, Big Bovine, and I think a dozen projects or so. It's almost like False was holding him back. Gone on to do tons of different things that are really incredible and really different from False. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and say, if you love False, you're going to love this Mycorrhizae is, it's like where Other black metal is really tired sounding because it's trying to sound evil and sinister with guitar harmonies and yada yada yada. This is menacingly happy in a way. It's like he's discovered a chordal modality that like always signifies or sounds like bright, shimmering, exuberant happiness. But the music is really, really fast, nasty black metal. And so it presents this kind of whole different thing, at least that I'm not aware of is going on anywhere else. It's interesting. It kind of turns the whole idea on its ear, and it's something I've been listening to kind of off and on over and over. It's kind of punishing to my ears, but again, my ears are trash, and I like trash. So this was really good. The tape's sold out. I think you can get it on Bandcamp. I would not be surprised if somebody maybe starts pressing bovine releases on vinyl, or if they start doing it. I'm not sure really what's going on there. It's really underground. It's really unconventional in how it operates a black metal within the black metal sphere, if you will. I guess. Will you? How about a little bit of a so this is a 90s black metal thing that I think a lot of people have gone back and been like, oh, he was in Dimmy Borgir, had a solo project, pretty cool. And so this finally, after being out of print for ever since it was first in print, I think, is back in print now, thanks to Nuclear War Now. Carpe Tenebrum with Spider Getting in Your Gooch. No, Majestic Nothingness. Yeah. I have an EP from this project that I never listened to and kind of always thought the same thing. Like, oh, that was good Norwegian black metal. I should listen to it. Never did. If I did, I probably would think the same things I did when I put this in. I don't get it. It's I've been saying, I've been really picky with my black metal lately, or kind of everything, I guess. So I guess I'm hoping that maybe someday I get into a real black metal niche where nothing quite satisfies me, and this will. But it just kind of sounds blah, kind of blah, blah, whatever. I thought the Lord Chaos stuff was killer. But yeah, I basically have no memory of. I may have never even heard this from back in the day, so this may be like the first time I've heard this thing. But yeah. I'm surprised that Nuclear War Now put this out. I know it's probably kind of like from the steam that the Lord Chaos reissue garnered, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see the point in reissuing that thing. Shall we talk about something awesome? Yeah. So the other day, Simon Explosive Action. Every fucking morning, I wake up and Simon from Explosive Action has a new release for me to check out, to tempt me to fill my fucking house with this garbage that you see behind me. And I tell him not to do it. He does it anyways, and I send him suggestions, and we're fighting basically. Oh, he's not in this one. There he is. But he sent me this one. I listened to it for a little bit. The thing he said about it really piqued my interest, and fuck, this is awesome. He told me that this sounded like old Morbid Angel, and it does, and it's really good. The band is called Aiwaz, A-I-W-A-Z, not like the gym, but Dreams of Ancient Gods, and this came out a couple of years ago, 2017, on Despise the Sun. I want you to notice the corpse fart at libero.it. Send them any cute pictures. So this is an old demo from an Italian band in '95 called Remote Atavism with a promo tacked on the end of it. And yeah, sounds exactly like Blessed Are the Sick. Like in the way that I would say Altars of Madness more, but I think Altars is more of a thrash metal record learning what death metal is. I must have spilled something on this yesterday. I jammed this in the car a couple times yesterday and it rules. I really like how short it is. I'm kind of lately, I've been getting more into releases that are like 20 to 25 minutes long, and I like just like letting them play over and over and over again because I'm stupid. So that was really good. I found it on Discogs for like $7. I'm sure there's millions of copies of them out there. This might be the release, the highlight of the video, and I had a hard time tracking down a copy of this. So YouTube suggested this to me a couple weeks ago, based on something else I was listening to, and I thought the cover looked cool, clicked on it, and listened to the whole thing, and loved it, and I was like, get it, I gotta get it. The band is called Nocturne, with Estranged Dimensions, and it's got an EP tacked on the end of it, Shades of Insanity. Man, I found my focus game is finally like on, working good. So this is a Dark Descent reissue. I feel like I should get sponsored by that label at this point. But yeah, another one that just slipped through the cracks on me. I hadn't heard. I don't think I've ever seen anything about this until YouTube recommended it to me. So I believe it came out in 2017. Originally released in 90. The EP was 90 and the album was 91. These were, those are real words. This was a Dutch death thrash band that is very good. If you like riffs and heavy death metal and thrash metal, this is going to make you headbang a lot. I don't know, it's kind of generic, but God, it's so fun. What I think my favorite thing about this wound up being was that the overall mix and the mastering, the guitar tone, everything it just has this like, it's not brutal, it's not a heavy sound really, it's not polished at all, but it just kind of has this like mid-level, mid-range tonality to it all that just I can't get enough of. It's got a really nice crunchy sound to it. There's a lot of presence of bass in the mix, but where I think tons of bands are like scooping the mids and everything's high end and low end, this is all mids. And I really love that about it. It's just got such a satisfying tonality to it where like there's no nuance to it. You can hear everything crystal clear. It's all kind of raw, crunchy, and heavy. It's really unique. I wish more albums sounded like this, honestly. If you can think of any other kind of albums that you could say that about, let me know, because this thing got a ton of play with me over the last couple of weeks. Got a couple of records. This one picked up from the homie Brandon of Nameless Graves Distro. So I've been wanting a copy of this forever. I don't remember, it must have been Napster or something, Audio Galaxy or something, that I discovered this way back in the day. And the cover, this cover, I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest heavy metal album covers there ever was. And it's an album to back it up. It's not just an album cover, I'll tell you that. This is a great speed metal album. In fact, so tomorrow I'm going to Spin Records at Wake Brewing for an event, and I picked out a bunch of like black metal and some death metal and stuff, but I wanted some kind of 80s stuff, some old school stuff, some non-obvious like just thrashy speed metal. And I put on Nuclear Assault this morning, and I still don't like that band. I put on Overkill. I hate that band. It just didn't fucking work for me. So I am going to bring this, and I think it's going to work for me. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Look at that hairdo. Yeah, so this is back in print. No Remorse Records, 2021, actually. So pick it up. It's got some Motorhead isms to it, but kind of early power metal, I guess. I want to say this guitar player went on to start Omen right after this was released. What year? 85, yeah. L.A. Back on another Warlord kick. This one really... I'm running out of Warlord releases that I don't have. And this one I kind of just thought, you know, I don't really need another rehashed Warlord thing, but turns out I did. So I picked up this Live in Athens 2 CD set. Warlord is so good. Warlord is one of the most underrated bands there ever was. Yes, they came from LA metal scene. Yes, they sound like fantasy, power metal, traditional heavy metal kind of stuff. They fit in whatever genre they're in very, very well. But I think I have never heard any band come nearly as close to Warlord in having intricate, memorable songs that are so perfectly written. There is not a moment of Warlord's music that I would criticize. I think this stuff is just so beyond criticism. It's untouchable. Warlord were gods of metal. And R.I.P. Bill Samus, but God, this band was so perfect. They just... You don't know about them. You probably do, but if there's a reason most people don't know about this band, and it's because they never really had a real full-length album until Holy Empire in 2010, I want to say. They had kind of a long EP, and then their Cannons of Destruction Have Begun fake live album added 2 songs to it, so it was kind of the same EP with a couple more songs onto it. They never really had a label backing. They had Metal Blade, but they kind of blew that. They were just kind of like failures that never really quite did it right. But they did write just a handful of amazing songs. That Holy Empire album is also amazing. I mean, Bill Samus was insanely talented. And the thing I really have come to love about Warlord this time around is the drumming of Mark Sonder. Holy crap, that dude was just a master at accentuating intricacies into their beautiful songs to make... I could gush. I am gushing. I need a towel, please. Towel for my gush. So, I cannot urge you enough, whether you like traditional heavy metal or not, just check out Warlord. Any Warlord. There's not... there's some, like, stupid... Okay, so Bill probably should have had someone say, don't re-record those songs for a 6th time using only synthesizers. Don't do it, Bill. You've got other things. You need to mow the yard. Okay? Bill, don't do it again. Their discography is just littered with reissues and re-recordings with different singers, and he didn't want to give up the muse. And of course, this has a second disc on it with rarities and demos. Other live stuff, rehearsal stuff, instrumental demo stuff. Every single release by Warlord has bonus stuff that you kind of don't need. They have like an album and a half worth of songs, and that's kind of all you need. I also got this Stungara Girl with... So they're doing this on a new label, Medieval Prophecy Records, new to them and me, I think. This is great. It's a 2-song EP. I wouldn't say it's very different from the full length that they put out last year. Yeah. It just kind of sounds like it could have gone on that album as well. It's great. It's a one-sided LP. Really not much to look at here. But they really have a knack for album covers that are just mystifying and make you go, ooh, doesn't that? I wonder if that's like a still from a movie or something. I'll have to ask. I'm doing an interview with Adam from Malacarpatan for their new record soon, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Moving on, 2 more. I kind of wanted to do like the whole stack of stuff that I found at this certain store, but I didn't. Sue me, whatever. But here's a couple that I found out in the wild up in Milwaukee. Didn't expect to find this on American soil, let alone for $15. But I know, boring album cover. I would, if I didn't know this band already, I would look this over and go, don't care. But Elysian Blaze are this Australian. I don't think DSBM is really the right category to put them in. I would kind of say more like a Blackened Doom, Funeral Doom kind of thing. They're really kind of doing their own thing. I guess I would say take like your Nort and I don't know, take Nort and Zaster. They did a split together and like merge them together. You might kind of have something like Elysian Blaze. I love this band and I love this album, Levitating the Carnal. If you're not convinced by the song Macabre Be Thy Blood, then this isn't for you. But it's so just bone-chillingly grim and slow-moving. I don't think there's anything worth looking at in this thing. But this was used, $15 at this record store in Milwaukee. Yeah, Levitating the Carnal. Oh, so good. Actually, it was $16, and it sat there in the used bin for 3 years. How cool is that? At last, we'll finish with something that I know you're gonna think like I don't know. I've never wound up getting copies of these albums. Always kind of wanted to. They are kind of rare and expensive OGs now. And they just did a reissue campaign with the original artwork, and I almost dropped quite a bit of money on them without being very familiar with them. But so luckily I found both albums on a Digipack reissue. This is Hypocrisy. I've never loved this band. And I thought like, okay, here's the ones that I needed to get so that I will finally get like the beginnings of Hypocrisy, and maybe I can kind of start from the beginning and start working my way through discography and finding some level of respect for the band. And so Penetralia, not the album that is going to do that for me. I know you're thinking, I'm thinking confirmation bias is making me think that this is a stupid album because I already don't like Hypocrisy. I want that to be true. But I swear, this is a great album cover. God, I love that album cover. Seagrave, you were a god. I don't know, you're probably still making albums. I don't know. But, yeah, this just, it's kind of try-hardy. Isn't there like a... No, that's the second album. There's like a cover on the second album. Yeah, they do black metal, track 5. That is such a faux pas for me. Covers go at the end. At the end, always. Unless it's a fucking EP. Covers go at the end. I thought this was really cut and paste, really try-hardy, kind of run-of-the-mill, unsignificant, dribble-ish mediocrity. And I listened to a ton of mediocre metal. Now this one, I did like a little bit more. Come on. I know that's dumb and bad, but they're adding little flourishes and personality to it and make it their own thing. This band does not do that. So, yeah, I did like Osculum and Senum a little bit more. Now I have them. Maybe I'll listen to them more, and I'm glad I didn't blow a bunch of money on the reissues or the OGs. In fact, a couple years ago, I think Osculum Obscenum came up in a used bin near me, and I almost dropped like $50 or something for it. I'm glad I didn't. I don't know what it is. It's just, they don't have personality to me. And I think once they found like Aliens muse to be their personality, they went with that, and like, I don't fucking alien stuff, shack off, I don't care. So yeah, I love Hypocrisy and I love you. We will see you again soon. I hope your parents are doing well. Bye-bye.
Woohoo! That was a great video, and it was made possible mostly by me, but also thanks to the undying and kind support of my Patreon subscribers. Thank you all. I love you. If you are interested in being a part of my Patreon channel and supporting what I do, you are welcome to join at the URL below. It is only $6.66 per month, and you're going to love it.